So it's tough. But what it does is that it shows us that if we concentrate, somebody was telling me today, someone that I respect his opinion, he said is to get to a time that a CHAN will be more popular than the AFCON.
Yeah.
Because you look at this tournament, a lot of committed players come to this tournament, not some guys who want to come and showboat, not some guys who just, just want to come and do what they want. So I feel that this team, if we can find ways to keep them busy, play friendly matches, you don't necessarily have to
wait till they come.
Pay, top dollar to bring the professionals all the time. Make them play Egypt, play this, play that. Encourage, what would I tell someone like Bola Salami? What would I tell someone like Chima Akas? What are the benefits for him to stay here?
What benefits?
So unless I show him that, look, if you're here, you're still going to be an integral part of the Super Eagles.
Right.
You can play against anybody from any part of the world, and we will take care of you. And that's what I think the team should do. The LFF should do.
Okay, if you're going to ask me, the future for this team, I think some of them, a whole lot of them should be brought into the mainstream Super Eagles. I know few of them are in the mainstream Super Eagles, but I feel a whole lot of them. Yes, we know.
You say a lot. I'm wondering, from a team that didn't make it out of the group phase.
Well, it just says something that there's a difference between promise and reality. This team has promise, and it's a very good team. I was telling somebody today, and we were arguing when they said that they did not get the best. For me, these are the best players in the league.
Right.
Nobody can question that.
Nobody can question that. Well, somebody was actually doing that today, and I was telling the person that, this is something I know. These are the best players from the league, and they are doing well.
Maybe, you might put Azubike in this defense and bring in some experience to it.
I wouldn't.
Well, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
I would never.
I would never. I won't say never, but I wouldn't.
Well, I would never.
I looked at that defense line with all the changes that we made to that defense line, and how you see the goalkeeper and those two guys that played centrally, how they are confident enough to pass the ball around, not always in a hurry to play kick and follow. From players playing on the domestic scene, it's something that is praiseworthy.
Exactly.
And you see wing backs putting decent crosses, guys that show a good understanding of the game. Only problem is there wasn't the hunger. And you see, and leadership sometimes, you have some players that, the other day I was with you and we were looking at Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira. Even on days when those guys do not play well, they have this instinct, the way they just go at the game, even when you could say, oh, this guy is giving me 40%, but that physical presence
is there.
We had guys that I expected to lead this team. They just give me that today.
Austin, I think something I'll have to say about this team is that make this team the mainstay of the national team. Yes. Let's make it, these guys, 70% of these guys should be in the national team. Then you bring in the home-based player to just, put them in some places where there are deficiencies. I'm serious. I feel that we should go back to the early 90s, late 80s, where we had many of the players playing in the league. Trust me, if you do that, fine, it may look as if it won't work, but it will work. It will work if we can just do that.
You have a response on Twitter already. Chooks is saying, stop deceiving Nigerians. These players are not good enough. At Sunday, Coach Sunday Oliseh shouldn't dare to use them for the AFCON qualifiers. I said that's what happens when you
what's with all due respect, that's an emotional reaction.
Exactly.
Right. Just hurt.
And Jose Mourinho, I respect him. He said he usually doesn't listen to what somebody says immediately after the game. That 48 hours with a cool head, you listen to your analysis because you are bound to be angry, referee decisions and all that. So maybe 2 days after, I'll read the tweet from this man when the rain has fallen and we can now see clearly.
Okay.
Then we'll listen.
Okay, we'll just read some more tweets and then we'll go see the fixtures for tomorrow. Olamilekon Lawal, it was very straightforward. He says, to me, Nigerian defenders are too slow. I think that also cost us. John Adebayo says the Guineans read our 2 matches very well and their coach told the players what to do, although our boys didn't come to the party. David Kolade says, sorry to say that we were deficient in our tactical play. Most of our players were not technically sound No quality. Well, the guys in the studio won't agree to that. Okay, let's go on. The show must go on. The 2016 African Nations Championship is without the Super Eagles of Nigeria, but there are still some other teams doing big things, and that's the fixtures for tomorrow. Zambia will take on Mali, and Uganda will play Zimbabwe.
Well, I hope Zambia learns from the mistake that Nigeria made, that Rwanda made, that DR Congo also made. They're on top of the group. It's exciting to know that Christopher Katongo is actually in this team, and he's been doing well, motivating his boys. So I hope they won't take their eyes off the main thing, securing passage. They've secured passage actually, but to qualify as the best team in Group D, and a draw. We'll do that for them. Of course, we'll still be talking about the CHAN. It's a pity that Nigeria is not there, but this is the best players plying their trade in their domestic leagues in the countries of their birth. This is the best that Africa can offer, and I'm very sure that this tournament will grow in leaps and bounds in the years to come.
In Cosmos, I'll let you react to this. Effect on Twitter is saying, I think the Nigeria Football Federation could have helped to delay or lobby Bola on Salami's contract till the end of this month to enable him legally participate. That's him tying this team to one man, and we say no. I think the quality was there enough not to miss Bola.
If Bola Salami was there, what would have happened today would have happened, because it's not just about him. I mean, he was in South Africa 2014, and at some point he was even benched in that competition. So it's not as if Bola Salami would have brought any sort of yes, he probably bring a lot of experience, probably bring a whole lot of things into that, a positive impact into that team. However, even if he was there with the kind of attitude that Nigeria displayed today, what would have happened would have happened. It's that simple.
Only God can accurately predict what will happen. That's why I said if and what if. The other time, was it DR Congo that beat us 3-0? A lot of people started saying Vincent Onyama was not, and I was quick to point out, I can count the number of games that we played and it was there and we lost. So if and what if doesn't count, and you're not God, you don't know, maybe the player's attitude will be worse than the guys that were on the pitch.
It's just like what happened in the last competition too, when a certain, what's the name of this Nigerian defender that plays in Turkey right now, that was the former
Godfrey
Babona. Godfrey Babona was actually the captain of the side, but then he had to leave at the eve of that competition, and everybody was saying we'll go there and lose and something like. What happened? They came in third, so anything could have happened.
More tweets, come on guys, keep them coming. You're giving so much love to tonight's show. That shows Nigerians, they love their football and they're not happy that the Super Eagles are out of the African Nations Championship. On Twitter, George Jofor says, considering the pedigrees and qualities of the players in the Super Eagles team losing to Guinea, it can best be described as a road shock. Yes, George Jofor, that's how it got to be. I was almost soaked with tears. Got to me like a very rude shot. Kelvin the Jiggy Man says, if these people heed to my advice of allowing Salisu Yusuf to take charge of this CHAN team, we won't be on our way back home. You see, he understands where it's coming from.
It's debatable.
Yeah, as a man on ground, yes, the coach is the coach.
It's
coach is in
debatable.
charge. And at some point, the coach wasn't with the team. Salisu was with the team.
It's debatable. What is not debatable is that Salisu would definitely know these players better than Sunday Oliseh. That, you can't call that to question. But you see, only God can accurately predict what will happen at any instance. You understand? But I still feel that this is good. What has happened is we can't benefit if we want to. It's a lesson for the coach. It's a lesson for his assistants. And I think the assistants too should freely give their opinion as well. I don't know if they did. I wasn't in Rwanda, but if you know these players more than the coach, you should also be able to have your own input. I think the coach should listen to his assistants too. Listen to them more, and create a room for their input. Because all of these things, at the end of the day, you take the glory together and you take the fall together.
That's right. Okay, so much talk coming out of the African Nations Championship. The story is that the Super Eagles of Nigeria are out of the competition after losing to Guinea by a single goal. They had 4 points and finished third on the Group C table, but not good enough to take them to the quarterfinals.